Distinguished guests, Data Protection Commissioners present, ladies and gentlemen. I take this opportunity to welcome you to Uganda, our Pearl of Africa, and a special welcome to those who have joined us virtually at the 3rd Privacy Symposium Africa, hosted by Unwanted Witness and its various partners under the theme Data Protection, a New Dawn in Africa. Indeed, it is a new dawn for Africa in respect of data protection. Particularly within East Africa, many of us are just starting implementation of our data protection and privacy laws. In Uganda, in Kenya, and in Rwanda, data protection offices or commissions have been set up to ensure compliance with this important legislation. Other countries within the region are still at drafting stage, but I'm sure are following the rest of us closely. For us in particular, Uganda passed its data protection and privacy law in 2019 and gazetted regulations under the Act in March 2021. Following the passing of the required regulations, Uganda also set up the Personal Data Protection Office, which started its operations in August 2021, following my appointment as the National Personal Data Protection Director and other staff. This Personal Data Protection Office is within the National Information Technology Authority, Uganda, and is now fully operational. With the office set up, Uganda is now on the path of implementing its data protection and privacy legislation. Across Africa, we have more countries year on year adopting data protection laws. This trend cannot have come at a better time than this. Over the last 2 decades, we have witnessed rapid developments in technology which inevitably have impacted most spheres of our lives. The COVID-19 pandemic has pushed the boundaries even further, as most private and public organizations moved all their operations online to be able to continue offering their services. This also increased the risk to the personal data that these organizations hold and have to access from wherever their staff are. We acknowledge that businesses and governments need personal data to be able to identify us, to provide services, to understand our needs, to improve the services they provide to us, and many other objectives. However, the personal information must be collected and used in compliance with the various laws governing personal data across the region and the globe. In Uganda, these laws include our Constitution, which guarantees our right to privacy, the Data Protection and Privacy Act, and the regulations issued thereunder. The Data Protection and Privacy Act 2019, under Section 3, provides that a data collector, data processor, or data controller, or a person who collects, processes, holds, or uses personal data shall be accountable to the data subject for data collected, processed, held, or used, collect and process data fairly and lawfully, collect, process, use, or hold adequate, relevant, and not excessive or unnecessary personal data, retain personal data for the period authorized by law or for which the data is required, ensure quality of information collected, processed, used, or held, ensure transparency and participation of the data subject in the collection, processing, use, and holding of the personal data, and lastly, observe security safeguards in respect of the data. The office is mandated to ensure that all data collectors, processors, and controllers comply with the principles of data protection enumerated above and the Act. Following the setup of the office in August 2021, we have embarked on a number of activities to set a good foundation for compliance as follows. We are creating awareness, and this we do through engagements such as this symposium, holding meetings with various stakeholders, radio and TV shows, and publications in print media. We are providing training, especially within the organizations that are supposed to comply with this law. As we all know, your weakest link is that staff member who doesn't know what to do. So it's important that we train all our staff. We are hoping that in training all these staff, they will also pass on the message to whoever they interact with. We are registering all data collectors, data processors, and data controllers as required by law. We are also preparing a number of guidance notes and checklists to provide assistance in the registration process and in development of various data protection and privacy frameworks within the organizations. We continue to encourage all data collectors, data processors, and data controllers to designate data protection officers and also implement other measures that will enable those organizations to comply with the Act. Internally, we've also developed a complaint handling mechanism and are receiving and investigating complaints, breach notifications, and handling them as required by law. I therefore urge all organizations that collect, process, and/or hold personal data to register with the office and comply with the law. Organizations should also notify the office of any personal data security breaches they experience. The door is also open for data subjects to raise complaints. All this can be done through our website, which is www.pdpo.go.ug. We believe that if the above measures are implemented adequately and effectively, we shall go a long way in ensuring the much needed awareness for data controllers and data subjects, and also provide the tools needed to ensure compliance with the law. For us to deliver our mandate, we need various partners to create awareness on the obligations of the data collectors, data processors, and data controllers under the law. We also need to create awareness amongst the data subjects on the law, the rights they enjoy under the law, and how they can exercise their rights or defend them when there has been a breach. Partners such as civil society, academia, regulators, industry players in the various sectors play a critical role in ensuring the compliance with the law. I would like to thank all those who have worked tirelessly towards the success of this symposium. It's the third event of its kind, and every year continues to attract more participants and also discuss pertinent issues on data protection and privacy. I would like to make particular mention of unwanted witness and thank them for the work they have done to ensure as many organizations as possible are awake to their obligations and that citizens are aware of their rights under the Act. To our parent ministry and supervisor, Ministry of ICT and National Guidance, our gratitude for enabling the enactment of the relevant laws that have ensured Uganda continues to be at the forefront of ICT legislation. It is now our duty to ensure these laws are implemented and enforced so that their intended objective is achieved. We all have the responsibility to continue this conversation beyond these few days. Our website, which I provided earlier on, will provide some information on the common questions you may have, and I urge you to make use of it. I urge all organizations that collect, process, and/or hold personal data to register with the office as required by law. We have given a grace period up to the end of December 2021 to allow for the registration process by all relevant organizations or persons. Starting January 2022, we shall start enforcement measures against companies who have not registered. We also encourage data subjects to continue to engage on matters of data protection and raise any complaints they may have with the office. The Personal Data Protection Office is committed to monitor and, if necessary, enforce the law as mandated and is counting on all of you to do your part. Last but not least, data protection and privacy organizations across Africa need to work together. This can be achieved through cooperation on regulatory actions such as enforcement, investigations, audits, and complaints handling. This will minimize duplication of investigatory effort and speed up resolution of cross-border complaints. And for businesses, this will provide more consistency in how they are being regulated by us. I wish you fruitful deliberations. Let us all remember our privacy matters. I thank you for listening to me.